this video, we're going to review Unit 7, AB, calculus AB and BC, differential equations. Alright, find the general solution to the differential equation 2x times y plus 1 minus y times y prime equals 0. Alright, so we can rewrite this one as y times y prime, which means dy over dx, right? Equals 2x times y plus 1, right? Now we're going to separate the variable, right? So we're going to multiply both sides by dx and divide both sides by y plus 1, right? So this guy turns out to be, then we're going to integrate both sides, right? So the left hand side right here, we can do long division, or you can literally add 1 and subtract 1, right? So you can separate this one, it's going to be y plus 1 over y plus 1 is going to be 1 minus 1 over y plus 1, right? dy equals, you're going to integrate this one, it's going to be 2 times x squared over 2 plus c, right? Now, antiderivative of 1 is going to be y, right? dy right here, I can rewrite dy as d of y plus 1, right? So, I can apply the formula 1 over u du. It's going to be ln absolute value of u plus c, right? So right here you have ln absolute value of y plus 1, right? Equals 2 and 2 cancel out. S squared plus c, right? This one is the final answer, right? You cannot rewrite this one as a single y, right? Now let's move on to question 2. Find the general solution to the differential equation s y prime plus 2y equals 0, right? So this one can be written as dy over dx equals negative 2y, right? Now you're going to separate the variable. Make sure y on the left and x on the right, right? So you're going to multiply both sides by dx over x, right? So this guy turns out to be dy equals negative 2y times dx over x, right? And then divide both sides by y, so it could be dy over y equals negative 2 over x dx, right? Now you're going to integrate both sides, right? So this guy turns out to be ln absolute value of y, right? Equals negative 2 ln absolute value of x plus c, right? To solve for y, you need to exponentiate both sides, right? So I have e to this one equals e to the whole thing right here, right? So this guy turns out to be absolute value of y equals negative 2, bring back over here, right? So I have absolute value of x power of negative 2 times e to the c, right? Now I'm going to simplify, so it will be absolute value of y equals e to the c over x squared, right? So then this guy becomes y equals plus and minus e to the c over x squared, right? You can leave your answer like this, or you can rewrite this one as y equals c0 x squared. c0 equals plus and minus e to the c, right? And of course, the domain for this one should be x not equal to 0, right? Now question 3. Find the general solution to the differential equation y prime minus 2e to the x equal to 0. So you can rewrite this one as y times dy over dx equals 2e to the x, right? Now you can separate the variable by multiplying both sides by dx, right? So you have y dy equals 2e to the x dx, right? Now you're going to integrate both sides, right? So the left hand side equals y squared over 2, right? The right hand side is going to be 2e to the x plus c, right? So y squared equals 4e to the x plus c. Now you can leave your answer like this, or you can take square root both sides, right? So you have y equals plus and minus square root of 4e to the x plus c, right? Now let's move on to question 4. Find the particular solution to the differential equation sy y prime minus ln x equals 0 given the initial condition y of 1 equals 0, right? So this one can be written as y dy over dx equals ln x, right? Now we're going to separate the variable by multiplying both sides by dx over x, right? So it's going to be y dy equals ln x over x dx, right? Now the left hand side is y dy, right? The right hand side right here, I can rewrite this one as ln x, right? dx over x is actually d of ln x, right? Because derivative of ln x is going to be 1 over x dx, right? So I can integrate both sides, right? And then you just apply the power rule, right? So you have y squared over 2 equals this one right here, actually u du, right? So if you integrate this one, it's going to be u squared over 2 plus c, where u equals ln x, right? So you have ln x over 2 squared plus c, right? Now you're going to use the initial condition right here to solve for c, right? So substitute 1 for s and 0 for y, right? So I have ln of 1 altogether square over 2 plus c equals 0, right? Ln of 1 equals 0, right? So the answer is c equal to 0. And then the equation becomes y squared over 2 equals ln s altogether square over 2, right? And then you just multiply both sides by 2, right? So you have y squared equals ln s altogether square, right? This one is the final answer. Now question number 5. Find the particular solution to the differential equation given the initial condition y of 0 equals 1, right? Now first we need to separate this one, right? So we have y squared over 1 minus x squared dy over dx equals x squared over 1 minus y squared, right? So I'm going to bring this guy to the left. I'm going to bring this one to the right. Bring the x to the right, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by square root of 1 minus y squared and multiply both sides by dx over square root of 1 minus x squared, right? So I have y over square root of 1 minus y squared dy equals x over square root of 1 minus s squared ds, right? Now I'm gonna integrate both sides, right? Now in order to integrate this one, I'm gonna use u substitution, right? So I'm gonna let u be the bottom right here, right? Now both sides have the same manner, so I just do the left hand side and I'm gonna have the same thing on the right hand side, right? So I let u be square root of 1 minus y squared, right? And then u squared equals 1 minus y squared, right? And then 2u du equals negative 2y dy, right? So on the top, I only have y dy, right? So I need to divide both sides by negative 2, right? So I have negative u du equals y dy, right? So this guy becomes y dy is negative u du, right? So I have negative u du, right? Over this one right here, actually u, right? So this guy becomes negative entire derivative of du, and it's gonna be negative u plus c, right? But u equal this one, so it turns out to be negative square root of 1 minus y squared plus c, right? The left hand side becomes negative square root of 1 minus y squared equals the right hand side negative square root of 1 minus s squared, right? Plus c. Now I'm going to use the initial condition right here, right? So I have negative square root of 1 minus 1 squared equals negative square root of 1 minus 0 squared plus c, right? So c equals 1, right? Then this guy becomes square root of 1 minus y squared equals square root of 1 minus s squared minus 1, right? Because I substitute 1 over here and I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. To solve this one, I just square both sides, right? So I have 1 minus y squared equals this one square. I just use complete square formula for this one right here, right? So remember, complete square formula is going to be a minus b square equals a square minus 2ab plus b square, right? So it's going to be 1 minus s squared minus 2 square root of 1 minus s squared plus 1, right? So this guy becomes 1 minus y squared equals 2 minus s squared minus 2 square root of 1 minus s squared, right? Now I just subtract 1 both sides, so I have negative y squared equals 1 minus s squared minus 2 square root of 1 minus s squared, right? And then I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1, so y squared equals s squared plus 2 square root of 1 minus s squared minus 1, right? I'm going to take square root both sides, so I have y equals plus and minus square root of s squared plus 2 square root of 1 minus s squared minus 1, right? Now, since initial condition right here is 1, which is positive, right? So I'm going to pick the positive values, right? So y equals positive s squared plus 2 square root of 1 minus s squared minus 1, right? Now let's move on to question 6. Find the particular solution to the differential equation given the initial condition y of 1 equals 0. Now I need to rewrite this one as 1 plus s squared times 1 plus y squared equals s squared dy over ds, right? Now I'm going to multiply both sides by ds, right? So I have 1 plus s squared times 1 plus y squared ds equals sy dy, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by s and divide both sides by 1 plus y squared, right? So I have 1 plus s squared over s ds equals y over 1 plus y squared dy, right? Now I'm going to rewrite this one as y over 1 plus y squared dy equals 1 plus s squared over s ds, right? Now I'm going to integrate both sides, right? Now the left hand side, I just multiply the top by 2 and divide by 2, right? So if you take derivative of the bottom right here, it's actually the top, right? So then you can apply the formula antiderivative of u prime du over u. It's going to be ln absolute value of u plus c, right? So the left hand side right here becomes 1/2 ln absolute value of 1 plus y squared, right? Equals the right hand side right here, I can separate this one as antiderivative of 1 over s plus s squared divided by s could be s, like that, ds, right? And I'm going to take antiderivative of each of this one, right? So it could be ln absolute value of s, right? Plus s squared over 2 plus c, right? Now I'm going to use initial condition right here to solve for c, right? So I'm going to have substitute 0 for y, right? The left hand side actually 1/2 ln 1 is going to be 0, right? The right hand side substitute 1 for s, ln of 1 equals 0, you have 1/2 right here, right? 1/2 plus c, then c equals negative 1/2, right? Substitute negative 1/2 over here. So you have this one actually negative 1/2, right? Now let's simplify this one further, just in case you're not gonna see the answer join like this on the MCQ portion, right? So I'm gonna multiply both sides by 2. I'm gonna have ln absolute value of 1 plus y squared equals 2 ln s plus s squared minus 1, right? Now I need to solve for y. So I need to exponentiate both sides, right? Before I'm going to exponentiate both sides, I need to print 2 part over here, right? Remember, log base a of b power of k. You can bring k to the front. Or you can bring k back over here to get this one, right? I have ln absolute value of 1 plus y squared equals ln absolute value of s squared plus s squared minus 1, right? Now I'm going to exponentiate both sides, right? So this guy becomes absolute value of 1 plus y squared, right? Remember, you have the formula a raised to the log base a of b equals b, right? Now ln, which means log base e, right? So I have e log base e of b equals b, right? Now on the right hand side, you need to be careful. You need to apply the formula a to the m plus n equals a to the m times a to the n, right? So this guy becomes e to the ln absolute value of s squared times e to the s squared minus 1, right? Now I'm gonna apply the formula right here. So this guy becomes absolute value of s squared, right? Because s squared always positive, so I don't need absolute value sign anymore, right? So I have s squared right here, right? Times e to the s squared minus 1, right? I have 1 plus y squared equals s squared times e to the s squared minus 1, right? Subtract 1 both sides, so you have y squared equals s squared times e to the s squared minus 1, subtract 1, right? Now you can take square root both sides, so you have y equals plus and minus square root of s squared e to the s squared minus 1 minus 1. Now let's move on to question 7. Find the general solution to the differential equation. Now we need to separate the variable, right? So before we're going to do that, we need to rewrite this one as e to the 2y dy over ds equals s cubed, right? Multiply both sides by ds, so you have e to the 2y dy equals s cubed ds, right? Now we're gonna integrate both sides, right? So the left hand side should be 1/2 e to the 2y equals s to the 4 over 4 plus c, right? Remember you have the formula e to the as plus b ds equals 1 over a e to the as plus b plus c. Keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm gonna multiply both sides by 2. So I have e to the 2y equals s to the 4 over 2 plus 2c, right? Now I'm gonna take natural log both sides, right? So this guy becomes 2y equals natural log of s to the 4 over 2 plus 2c, right? And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I have y equals 1/2 of ln of s to the 4 over 2 plus 2c, right? Now I can rewrite 2c as another c, right? So the final answer must be y equals 1/2 ln of s to the 4 over 2 plus c1, like that, where c1 equals 2c, right? And this one is the final answer. Now let's move on to question 8. The rate at which people consume Pringles potato chips in the US is given by P of t equals c times e to the kt, where p is measured in millions of cans per year, and t is measured in years from the beginning of 1990. So which means at this time t equals 0, right? The consumption rate triples, which means you need to multiply by 3, right? Every 4 years, which means t equals 4, right? And the consumption rate at the beginning of 1990 was 8 million cans per year, right? So which means you have the order pair 0,8 millions, right? Find c and k. So you have the equation right here. So p of t equals c e to the k t, right? Now use the initial condition right here, 0.8 million, right? We have 8 million equals c times e to the 0, right? And then c equals 8 million, right? Now substitute back over here, you have equation p of t equals 8 millions e to the kt, right? Now we're going to use the second information right here. The consumption rate triples every 4 years, right? It tells us that P of t equals this guy multiplied by 3, right? So you have 24 millions equals 8 millions times e to the 4k, right? Because t equals 4. Now divide both sides by 8 millions, right? So you have e to the 4k equals 3, right? Take natural log both sides, so you have 4k equals ln 3, right? And then k equals 1 4 ln 3, right? So finally k equals this one and c equals this one, right? Question 9. Consider the differential equation dy over dx equals x minus 1. Create a slope field for this differential equation using 25 points. Now remember, in order to do this question, you need to know the Christmas tree trick. If the line is going up, the slope is positive. If the line is going down, slope is negative. If the line is horizontal, slope is 0. If the line vertical, slope is undefined, right? Now on the left hand side right here, the line is going up. If the slope is bigger, the line is steeper, right? Now on the right hand side, the line is going down. If the slope is bigger, the line is less steep, right? Alright, now we need to sketch a table. Remember, the slope right here does not depend on the y value, right? So we just focus on the s value, right? Now the s value is 0, 1, 2, -1, and -2, right? So I have 0 right here, 1, 2, -1, and -2. Alright, substitute 0 for s, the slope should be -1, right? Substitute 1 for s, it's going to be 0. Substitute 2 for s, it's going to be 1. Substitute -1 for s, it's going to be -2. Substitute -2 for s, it's going to be -3, right? So we look at this one. Alright, use the Christmas tree trick right here. This one should be horizontal, right? Now, 1 right here, upward, right? And -3 right here, downward, right? -2 right here, downward, but less steep, right? -1, downward, but less steep, right? Right, now we're gonna sketch the slope field for this one first, right? So s equals 1, the slope is 0, right? So no matter y value is, you always have the 0 slope right here, right? Now s equals 2, the slope is 1, right? S equals 2, the slope is 1, so which means rise equal 1 and run equal 1, right? Rise over run, right? So it could be 1 over 1, right? So go up by 1, go to the right by 1, right? So it's gonna be something like this. So you connect this guy right here. So the slope should be something like this. Right? Now next one, the slope is -1. So rise over run. Right? So rise is -1 and run equal 1, right? Because -1 divided by 1 is going to be -1, right? So s was 0. Rise is -1 and run equal 1. So go down by 1, go to the right by 1, right? So it could be something like this. You connect this one. This is the guideline, right? Now next one, -2 when s equals -1, right? So rise equals -2 and run equals 1, right? So you have right at -1 right here, right is equal to -2, so go down by 2 and go to the right by 1. So if you use this guideline right here, the slope should be like this, right? And observe that the slope of this guy is bigger than this guy. So the line right here is less steep than this guy, right? Now the last one, s equal to -2, so this one right here, the slope is -3, right? So right is -3, right? So you go down by 3, go to the right by 1, right? 1, 2, and 3 right here. So 1 right here. So if you use the guideline right here, right? So the line should be like this, steeper, right? This guy is steeper than this guy is steeper than this guy, right? Now, if you use decimals to check your work, it's gonna be something like this. Sketch a solution to the differential equation on the slope field above through the point -1 and 1. So -1 and 1 is gonna be right here, right? So it's gonna be something like this. Question C. Write the equation of the tangent line drawn to FOS that passes through -1 and 1, right? So we have the slope formula. It's going to be dy over ds equals s minus 1, right? Now we need to evaluate this slope at this point right here, right? So we're gonna draw the line and we put -1, 1 right here, right? It's gonna be the same thing right here, -1, 1, right? So substitute -1 over here, the slope is -2, right? And we're gonna use the point slope formula, y minus y1 equals m times s minus s1, right? So the order pair right here actually s1, y1, right? And the slope right here is gonna be -2, right? So the equation should be y minus 1 equals -2 times s plus 1, right? Now you're going to simplify this one. So it's going to be y equals -2 s minus 1, right? Question D. Use the tangent lines from part C to estimate f of 0.3. So you have this guy actually f of s, right? So you have f of 0.3 is approximately -2 times 0.3 minus 1. So it will be -0.6 minus 1 is going to be -1.6, right? Now question E. Find the particular solution to the differential equation for the initial point -1 and 1. Alright, so we have dy over ds equals s minus 1. We need to separate the variable by multiplying both sides by ds, right? So you have dy equals s minus 1 ds, right? Now you're gonna integrate both sides, right? So this one becomes y equals s squared over 2 minus s plus c, right? And we're going to use the initial condition right here. So s1 equals 1, y equals 1 to solve for c, right? So you have 1 equals 1 over 2 plus 1 plus c, right? And then c equals 1 minus 3 over 2, and it's going to be -1 over 2, right? So the equation becomes y equals s squared over 2 minus s minus 1/2, right? Now let's move on to question 10. Consider the differential equation dy over ds equals 1/2 s times y minus 4 cubed. A slope field for the given differential equation is shown below. scattered solution curve that passes through the point 0, 2. So point 0, 2 is right here, right? If you substitute 0, 2 into this equation, of course, the slope equals 0, right? So right here should be horizontal, right? Now, you just follow the flow of this one right here, right? So it could be something like this. Alright. Now question B. Find the particular solution y equals fs to the given differential equation given the initial condition f of 1 equals 0, right? So you have dy over dx equals 1/2 x times y minus 4 cubed. Now you need to separate the variable first, right? So you're going to divide both sides by y minus 4 cubed and multiply both sides by dx, right? So you have dy over y minus 4 cubed equals 1/2 x dx, right? And then you need to integrate both sides, right? Now the left hand side right here, you're going to use the power rule. Before you're going to use the power rule, make sure you need to rewrite dy as d of y minus 4, right? Remember, look, dy actually dy of minus 4, right? And then you can apply the formula antiderivative of u to the n du. It could be u to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c, right? So this one right here can be written as, right? Now I can apply the power rule, right? So it could be y minus 4 raised to the negative 3 plus 1 is going to be negative 2 over negative 2, right? Equals 1/2 x squared over 2 plus c, right? Now this one can be written as negative 1 over 2 times y minus 4 squared equals 1 over 4 x squared plus c, right? Now we can use initial condition right here to solve for c. Substitute 1 for x and 0 for y, so it could be negative 1 over 2 times negative 4 squared, it could be 16, right? Equals 1 over 4 plus c, right? So c equals negative 9 over 32. And then you have equation is going to be negative 1/2 times y minus 4 squared equals 1 over 4 x squared minus 9 over 32, right? Now we need to solve for y, so we're going to multiply both sides by negative 2, right? So this guy becomes 1 over y minus 4 squared equals negative x squared over 2 plus 9 over 16, right? And then this becomes 1 over y minus 4 squared equals, I'm going to condense this one, right? So this guy becomes 9 minus 8s squared over 16, right? So I just flip this one, so it's going to be y minus 4 squared equals 16 over 9 minus 8s squared, right? Now I'm going to take square root both sides, so y minus 4 equals plus and minus square root of 16 over 9 minus 8s squared, right? Now I'm going to use the initial condition right here to check for y, right? So x equals 1, y equals 0. Substitute 0 for y over here. So I have 0 minus 4 equals negative 4, which is negative, right? So I'm gonna pick the negative side, right? So your solution should be y minus 4 equals negative square root of 16 over 9 minus 8s squared, right? Now I'm gonna add 4 both sides. So final solution is y equals 4 minus square root of 16 over 9 minus 8s squared. This one is the final solution. Now let's move on to question 15. If dy over ds equals s plus 2sy and y of 0 equals 1, find y as a function of s, right? So basically we just solve differential equation right here, right? Now we're going to separate the variable, right? So I'm going to factor s out first, right? So I have dy over ds equals 2y plus 1 times s, right? Then I'm going to multiply both sides by ds and divide both sides by 2y plus 1, right? So I have dy over 2y plus 1 equals s ds, right? Now I'm going to integrate both sides, right? Now I'm going to apply the formula antiderivative of u prime over u du. It's going to be ln absolute value of u plus c, right? Now in order to apply this formula, I need to rewrite the left hand side, right? So it could be like this, antiderivative of dy, I just rewrite this one as d 2y plus 1, right? So when I take derivative of this one, actually I have 2, right? So I need to divide by 2 right here, so that the things doesn't change, right? Over 2y plus 1, like that, right? Equals antiderivative of s ds. Now the left hand side is going to be 1 over 2 ln absolute value of 2y plus 1. The right hand side is going to be 1 half s squared plus c, right? Now we're going to use the initial condition right here to solve for c, right? So I have 1 half ln of absolute value of substitute 1 for y, so it could be 3 equals substitute 0 for s, it could be c, right? So c equals 1 half ln 3, right? So I substitute back over here. So final I have 1 over 2 ln absolute value of 2y plus 1 equals 1 half s squared plus 1 half ln 3, right? Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So I have ln absolute value of 2y plus 1 equals s squared plus ln 3, right? Now I'm going to exponentiate both sides, right? So e to this one equal e to this one, right? So it could be absolute value of 2y plus 1 equals e to the s squared times e to the ln 3, right? So it could be absolute value of 2y plus 1 equals e to the s squared times 3, right? Now since initial condition right here is positive, right? Substitute 1 over here is always positive, right? So I just remove absolute value side, so it could be 2y plus 1 without changing anything, right? Equals 3e to the s squared. Now I'm going to subtract 1 both sides and divide both sides by 2, so it could be y equals 3.5 e to the s squared minus 1 over 2. This one is the final answer, right? So the answer choice must be C. Now let's move on to question 16. The general solution of the differential equation y dy equals negative s ds is a family of. So basically we just solve this one, right? So I have y dy equals negative s ds, right? Now I'm going to integrate both sides, right? So I have 1 half y squared equals negative 1 half s squared plus c, right? Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So I have y squared equals negative s squared plus c 1, right? Because 2c, I can rewrite this one as another c, right? I'm going to add s squared both sides, so I have s squared plus y squared equals c1, right? This one actually the equation of the circle, right? So the answer must be A. Now question 17, the differential equation dt over dt equals 14 minus 0.01 T models the temperature T above room temperatures of an electric burner. T is measured in degrees Fahrenheit and T is greater than or equal to 0 is in seconds. Question A. Find the general solution of the differential equation then solve for T. Right? So basically, we're going to separate the variable and we're going to integrate both sides, right? So we have d capital T over dt equals 14 minus 0.01 T, right? Now multiply both sides by dt and divide both sides by this guy, right? So I have d capital T over 14 minus 0.01 capital T equals dt, like that, right? Now we're gonna integrate both sides, right? Now the left hand side, we need to apply the formula u prime over u du. It's gonna be ln absolute value of u plus c, right? So in order to apply this one, make sure you take the derivative of the bottom. Now if you take the derivative of the bottom, it becomes negative 0.01 dt, right? So in order to apply this formula right here, I need to multiply the top by negative 0.01, right? And divide by negative 0.01, right? So this guy becomes 1 over negative 0.01 ln absolute value of the bottom, 14 minus 0.01 t, right? Equals, this one is going to be t plus c, right? Now to remove decimal number, I just multiply the top and bottom by negative 100, right? So this guy becomes negative 100 ln absolute value of 14 minus 0.01 t equals t plus c, right? Now divide both sides by negative 100, so this guy becomes ln absolute value of 14 minus 0.01 t, right? Equals negative t over 100, right? Now if c divided by negative 100, it's going to be another c, right? So I just name this one as c1, something like that, right? Now to solve for capital T, I need to exponentiate both sides, right? So e to this one equals e to this one, right? So it's going to be absolute value of 14 minus 0.01 capital T equals e to the negative t over 100 times e to the c1, right? Now I'm going to remove the absolute value sign, so I have 14 minus 0.01 capital T equals plus and minus e to the negative t over 100 times e to the c1, right? So I'm going to name another c, 2 equals plus and minus e to the c1, right? So this guy becomes 14 minus 0.01 t equals c e to the negative t over 100, right? This one is c1. Subtract 14 both sides, so have negative 0.01 capital T equals negative 14 plus C1 e to the negative t over 100, right? Divide both sides by negative 0.01, so capital T equals 1400 minus C1 divided by 0.01 e to the negative t over 100, right? Now I just name C3 equals negative C1 over 0.01, right? So finally I have capital T equals 1400 plus C3 e to the negative t over 100, right? The constant right here doesn't matter. You can name any letter, right? You can name D, E, F, it's up to you. So this one is the final answer. Now question B. When the burner is turned on, T equals 0 and capital T equals 70, use this fact to find the value of the constant. So we need to find the constant C3 right here, right? So we have 70 equals 1400 plus C3 e to the 0, right? So C3 equals 70 minus 1400, right? So it can be negative 1330, right? Now question C. The Safety Standards Board has determined that this type of burner left on continuously is unsafe if its temperatures can exceed 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. Is burner safe or unsafe? Justify your answer. Alright. So basically, you need to take the limit of this guy right here. When the little t approaches infinity equals limit when t approaches infinity of 1400 subtract 1330 e to the negative t over 100, right? And it's going to be limit of 1400 subtract 1330 over e to the t over 100 when t approaches infinity, right? Now when t approaches infinity, this guy right here approaches 0, right? So the answer must be 1400, right? Now 1400 is less than 1500, right? So the burner is safe, right? And it's good time to stop. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember that if you failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine.